न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमि न तेजो न वायु चिदानंद रूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहं। We are discussing meditation, and in our last Sunday, the 9th June, we have discussed the biopsychologist conception of consciousness. And this scientists, they say consciousness is having 5 different positions. One is body consciousness. Second, worldly consciousness, consciousness about different aspects of this world. Then emotionally intelligent consciousness. Fourth is spiritual consciousness. And fifth is cosmic consciousness. This is their study of the science. Now the spiritual consciousness and cosmic consciousness, about this they are telling this is hypothesis. We are not sure about it, but they have come to the conclusion it is there. Then we have talked about the consciousness from the viewpoint of the Tantra. The Tantra, they also say that it is transcendent consciousness and immanent consciousness. It is a Paramatma and Jivatma, this consciousness. Paramatma means there is a consciousness all around, everywhere, and Jivatma in individual soul, which is again named as microcosm, macrocosm. Macro means bigger, micro means small. Then we discussed about this body. Shariramadhyam kalu dharma sadhanam, they say. Through this body only we have to realize God. And this, what is this sharira, this body? There also we find this causal, subtle and gross. The causal body is karana sharira, then shukshma sharira, then sthula sharira. This sthula sharira we understand. A little bit of idea about the shukshma sharira is also there. But the causal body we cannot understand. What is this causal body and this thing? So still, this conception is this, and this way, slowly, slowly, we are going deeper and deeper to understand our body-mind complex. Because our goal is totally different. Our goal is not to understand the body. Our goal is to understand the mind. And mind also, just like the body, it is also jada, inert. But it is getting the reflection of the consciousness. So unless and until we have the idea of consciousness, we won't be able to understand where to reach and how to reach. So this is what's called the purpose of meditation. To reach to the goal, reach to that back, the source. And what is the source? Consciousness. And the consciousness, we are beginning from 0 to 1, and again we are going round to 0 and coming to 1. Like this, we are constantly moving. So this way, we have to understand this mind is very, very important for us. Through the mind only we can reach. In this context, we discussed that the process of creation according to Samkhya philosophy, the creation is very unique, and every philosophy is trying to discover how the creation came. Even the science also trying to understand how the creation came. The Big Bang theory and all this theory, they are trying to understand something happened and then this amoeba, and from there life is coming. They are having some idea. We cannot say this is perfect idea. We cannot say this is the only idea. We cannot say this is truth. Because again something may change. Somebody will come and then prove that this is not. But today at least we can say this is this. But Samkhya philosophy is telling in this way. In Bhagavad Gita, as they are telling, Urdha Moolam Adasha. Here they are complete. You won't change. It is complete. And to some extent here we can discuss about a little, one or two sentences about the creation. The Vedanta, what it says? It says that there is no creation at all. It is all your imagination. All these things that you see, all multifarious varieties that you see, is the impression of your own mind. In the previous birth, all these impressions are there. So the moment you look at a butterfly, immediately that old store opens and you verify, oh yeah, this is, I saw, this is the butterfly. And this way we are understanding, creating the whole world, the universe. It has not been created. This is Advaita Vedanta, one. And they'll say, but why we are seeing like this? Then it is they say, this is Maya. And we are superimposing. First is covering and then we are superimposing. We are covering something and then superimposing on that something. This is the viewpoint of the Advaita Vedanta. And that is why the going back to the source means what? Removing the veil which is keeping us divided from the Paramatma to Jivatma. Only one thing is there. Sri Ramakrishna, when Master Mashai was asking him, what is God, etc., immediately he kept a towel and said, see, you are there, I am here, but still you cannot see me. Why? Because there is a towel in between. So this is what is called Maya. We are thinking that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, and see the whole world is nothing but me and mine. Americans are thinking this is our country, my country. Indians are thinking my country. And those people here and there, everybody is thinking it's my country. Suppose I was born over here. And suppose immediately after my birth, my mother has given to some people, they brought me over here and I grew up over here. From the childhood I would have thought, this is my country. So there is always and obviously chances to get mistake. So obviously all those things, me and mine, are nothing but the superimposition of my own mind. So this is the idea of the Advaita Vedanta. We are one, always one. Only in between we are thinking that we are not. Yoga, it also says the same thing. Jivatma and Paramatma. We are the Jivatma and there is a Paramatma. And whatever is there in the Jivatma, in that small thing, it is there in that Paramatma also. And when a spark of a fire is flying, it is also fire. It is having all the property of the fire, but small. So similarly, this Jivatma, when it goes back to Paramatma, what it becomes? It becomes Paramatma. So our goal to reach back over there. How? By controlling our mind. Why? Because mind is having so many impressions. And where from the impressions are coming? Coming from this world. And what is this world? That is constantly changing. So in that case, what should we do? We have to control our mind, because that is only going out, getting the impression and creating the problem. So this is, they say, we have to go back to the source. How the Samkhya says 24 tattva. There's a terminology. 24 tattva. What are the 24? 5 tanmatra. Tanmatra. Subtle. Air, subtle air. Fire, subtle fire. Earth, subtle earth. The subtleness of the things, that's called tanmatra. The 5 tanmatra. Then 5 mahabhuta. And 5 jnanendriya, 5 karmendriya. We know karmendriya, jnanendriya. And this 5 mahabhuta, tanmatra, jnanendriya, karmendriya, that means total 20. Now comes mind, then ego, then mahat, then pradhan. These are the 4. Mana, ahamkara, mahat. Mahat means super intellect, buddhi, and then pradhan. Pradhan, from there it begins. So the first is purusha, and then purusha, that is the consciousness, and from there slowly comes this, from purusha, prakriti. The purusha and prakriti, they are created. And what is this purusha? We can say, safely we can say God, but it is much finer than the conception of God. So in yoga, this is following the Samkhya Tattva. I will request you to remember this. Then only when we are practicing the yoga, we can understand how it is working. We are going back to Purusha. Purusha means the creator. It is only the terminology Purusha. Why? Because it remains inside a case thing which is called Pura. So Purusha. That Purusha, it is the only one. It has no two. And from that Purusha, all this creation. So this is the yogic tattva, yogic discipline, well established in India. Long back, long before Bhagavan Buddha. Excavation of the sites of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, and we find that some of the images, as if they are meditating, very perfect image of meditation. So that proves that even before Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, this meditation process was known, and that is why the erect body sitting like this posture, like the Shiva, like as Swami Vivekananda is sitting, that type of image, how they could make, because they had the conception. So obviously, this proves that it is a long back, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. And Mohenjo-daro and Harappa is considered as much earlier civilization of Vedic Yuga. They say, some people are telling like that. So, before the Vedic Yuga, even when in the dawn of civilization, this knowledge was there. Why? They understood the controlling of the mind is very important. Here we find this tradition that there are Samkhya and Yoga. Afterwards, there are different type of people, different type of schools, different type of masters. They were explaining the creation. Then the created, creation and the created being, the relation between these two. Creation and creator and the relation between the two. Creator, creation, relation, that's all. So there 6 systems came forward, different, and of them Samkhya and Yoga are almost clubbed, almost same. Samkhya is the theory and Yoga is the practice, they say. Our Vyasa, who is the composer of the Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita is the part of the Mahabharata. He is referring this yoga as Puratana. So these Vyasas and the Rishis, when they are referring something, they only realize and then they say, otherwise not. Just somebody told, and on the basis of that, most of the present day books that we read is only quoting from here and there. We are only referring, that person said, and that person is quoting another person, that another person is quoting another person, and if you go to the root, he says, I never said. Who quoted me? So like this it goes, because mostly it is all they say like this. Ultimately, they understand nothing. That's why there's so much of changes. Here, when the Basha is quoting, that's why it is quoting over here, Basha is telling means he has realized. The Sri Ramakrishna's life, there's a book is there, written by one of his direct disciples, Sharadanandaji Maharaj. There, in the preface, he is mentioning, whatever I have written in this book, is a voluminous book, big. Whatever I have written, everything I have realized myself, then I have written. Look at it. So he is mentioning it when the whole mother, Sharadamani Devi, is there, and when all others are also there. All other direct disciples, the sannyasins and the lay disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, who witnessed all this, there he is mentioning. So obviously, he realized all those truths that was realized by the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, then he is mentioning and explaining. So this is very important. Here, this Puratan is telling, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Pratyavan aham abbayam. Then Vivaswan manave praha manurikshakave bravit. Lord Krishna is telling, I said this, I taught this yoga to Vivaswan, and then goes like this. So it's a tradition. Suddenly somebody cannot do it. Now each and every one is going for this yoga, but mostly Hatha yoga. The yoga practicing, the meditation, this is very rare. And this only can be done through the parampara, from guru to disciple, from the master to the disciple, like this it goes. Otherwise it is very difficult. Because it is dealing the mind, which is very vital in a human being. I imparted this immortal yoga, say Krishna is telling, immortal yoga. Why immortal? Because so valuable. The human being problem with what? Mind only. Our problem is nothing but our own mind. The moment I become positive, I am happy. The moment I become negative, I am suffering, creating problem for others also. That's all. And where from this problem coming? From my thinking. So here, I imparted this immortal yoga to Vivaswan to Manu, and Manu to Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajashayo Viduhu. Only the Rajarshis, they could understand. They understood this, Rajarshi. That means Raja plus Rishi, Rajarshi. And Raja means is a powerful, not only administrative power, but he is having a lot of wealth. And this person is having control of the mind. This is important. Yogi is supposed to control his mind. One sannyasi wrote to Mother, Sarada Devi, Ma, I am doing regularly, I am doing japa and all this, but I am not getting the realizing the God, not getting peace. What shall I do? Then Mother wrote back, because she used to dictate and someone used to write him back. Now that you have left your hearth and home, what else you will do? Do japa only. So what else we will do? So this is the only work that we can know, we can do. We know and we do. That is called japa, taking the name of God. If a sannyasi boasts, I have taken 10,000 times, I have taken the name of japa, what else you will do? That is only your work. You are supposed to do that. So this is where he is telling, no, Rajarshaya Viduhu. Rajarshi means a person who is managing the whole world, Raja, king. And he is having so many different problems. And he is having wealth, he is having commanding power, but at the same time, he is controlling his own mind. This is most difficult. As they call in English, the power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The moment you give a person some power, immediately he will change, or he will see the change. The moment there is nothing for him or her, immediately our behavior will change. Because that is the power. Reflected glory, basking in the reflected glory, as they call. If there is someone known to the Prime Minister, known to the President, they will also work like this. The President works normally, but the people connected with this President will be working as if. Why? This is dangerous. Basking in the reflected glory. So this way, the king himself is having so much of control, though he is having in his power everything as a king. So the Rajarshayo Viduhu, Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Vidu. Then Saevayam Mayatedya Yoga Prokta Puratana. Vyasa in Bhagavad Gita through the Krishna is mentioning Saevayam Mayatedya Yoga Prokta Puratana. This is ancient. So yoga that we will be learning afterwards, will be reading afterwards and practicing afterwards. It's not just cropped up within 1 or 2 years. No. It's a very, very ancient. Why we are discussing this? To develop respect for the subject that we are going to study. To respect, if there is no respect, then you won't be able to understand it. And people will be going, and then someday they will practice yoga, then this yoga is not good, then another yoga to another yoga. They will be going like this. After some time I will go to this Hindu temple, Lemon. There the program will be Dharma bee. Bee means bee, and the function of the bee is to go from flower to flower and collect honey. And if we become bee like that in yoga, then it will be difficult. And today we are going to this yoga, second day that yoga. Somebody will be telling, put your hands up and then take the breathing. And somebody will be telling, no, put your leg up and then take the breathing. Like this. And after doing all these things, I will be where I was. So this is the problem. Then he is telling why we are telling this thing. Yoga Prakta Puratana. This is traditionally, yoga is unique science of man in depth and spirituality, of self-unfoldment. Man in depth is a science to know a human being. And there are psychologists, they will be knowing about the human being. Why this person is doing like this, why he is doing like that. They will be studying. Some people have the habit of their legs when they are sitting. Then the psychologist will say, oh, he is very utterly restless. Some people will be doing this, some people will be doing that. They will be studying, and then coming to a conclusion. This is this, this is that. It may or may not be. But it is not like this. They are going to the root of the human being, and then spirituality unfolding. And this, what is this spirituality? Yesterday 3 boys came. They are the students from an university, and they are completed their masters, and they were asking this question. What is spirituality? Why so many religions? Why religions are so different? Why we are fighting with the religion? Is there anything that without religion we can have a human community? So I told, religion is the only thing that can unify the human community. And this religion we should understand properly, because the difference is not in religion, difference in the fast step of religion. Again and again I say, the religion has 3 steps. First is ritual, and we differ in ritual only. Second is morality, all are one. And third is spirituality. And what is that spirituality? I am you. There is a conception, there is a couplet, I have forgotten those lines. The Sufi saint, they are telling, someone has come and knocking the door. From the inside, the voice came, who are you? I am so and so. The door didn't open. Then second time he knocked, who are you? I am your relative, friend, close to you. It didn't open. And third time when it knocked, same question came, who are you? The answer he gave this time, I am you. Thou art that, tat tvam asi. So that moment the door opened. Lord Jesus is telling, knock the door, it will be open unto you. What is the knocking of the door? Sadhana. And he is telling in his own way, the terminology he is using in his own way. And if we go on knocking the door for all the neighborhood, then all people will ring to 911. Here is a person knocking the door all the time. It is not like this. This is knock the door means I have to knock the door of my own. And here, yuktena manasa vayam devasya savitu sabe suvargayaya shakta shetashatru Upanishad. The yoga is supported by the Upanishads also, Bhagavad Gita also. It is not one single book. It is supported by all the scriptures. Here it says, we means Vayam, with minds joined to the Supreme Self. Our mind should be joined to the Supreme Self. We'll exert ourselves to the best of our power towards meditation. So, you know, the way they say, we have to meditate on the Supreme Self. And for that, what we have to do, we have to first have the effort to unify ourselves with the Supreme Self. And then only we will have the Brahman. Again, Shetashatara Upanishad gives the description. When we will be reading in details, we will be quoting and discussing from the Shetashatara. They are telling that you have to be the Vidwan, the wise person, should hold his body steady. When we are practicing the yoga, if we are practicing just lying down and practicing yoga, or in a good couch we are sitting and then music is going on, light is dim, beautiful fragrance, and that may not be. Then one Swami, he said, someone presented him a very good chair. He said, Swamiji, now you are sitting like this. Good chair if you can see. He purchased from the foreign land and took to India. He said, do you think by sitting on this chair I can meditate? If I can't meditate, what is the purpose of this chair? Wherever I am sitting, I must meditate. So that is the conception. Meditation is not a part-time, it's a full-time thing. So here he is telling that one person should sit erect. Tirunnatam sthapya samam shariram hridayani manasa sanniveshva brahmadupena prataret vidwan srutamsi sarvani bhayabhani. Srutani, that means they have to cross a terrible ocean. We have to cross the terrible ocean, tremendous current, and there will be waves like the mountain waves is coming, and we have to cross the ocean. And what is our boat? Brahman. Brahman is the boat. Over that we will float and cross. And beginning our chest, our neck and head, we have to erect, keep it erect. And then only we will sit. Forget about the body. We can now remember the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's words. Whenever I used to sit for meditation, I used to look that image. Just in front of the Dakshineshwar Kali temple, if you go, in Hindu tradition, there is a Garbha Mandir and another is Nat Mandir. On the top of the Nat Mandir, there is an image of meditating posture. And Sri Ramakrishna used to look at that posture and then he used to go and sit. And he used to imagine that all his body is becoming locked. And someone is telling, unless you complete the meditation, I am not opening the lock. He's sitting like that, just like an image, a rock. And that way, here also is telling, in Bhagavad Gita we find the same type of instruction. Samam, erect. Kaya, Shiro, Grivam. Kaya, Shira and Grivam. Dharayanna chalam sthira, sampreksha, nashika gramsam, ittadi. You have to have the attention on the top of the nose. And then you are meditating. And your body is erect. This second chapter of the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is giving the description of the pranayama, which is very, very important. We will come up to that afterwards. This pranayama, Sri Ramakrishna used to command his mind. You know, the pranayama means the main control. And then slowly you can have the power to control. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to command his mind. He used to say, "Oh mind, sit at the feet of my mother and don't move anywhere." He is using his mind as a paperweight. Swami Lokesharananda is using this word. He is using the mind as his paperweight. Sit over here, cover this thing, don't move, like this. The tremendous control. And when we say to this mind this type of word, we know the mind is not going to listen to us. Why? Because we don't have any control. The Kathopanishad is comparing the body as the chariot. This is very important. Why we have to be careful about the body? The yoga and the physical exercise, these are together should go, because physical exercise is also necessary. Swami Vivekananda said that each and every Swami and Brahmachari must practice minimum 2 hours exercise. Physically you have to be very fit, otherwise mentally you will be weak. So this is the thing, Atmanam Ratinam Viddhi. Shariram Rathamevatu Buddhim tu Sarathim Viddhi Mana Pragahamevacha. See the way they are describing, because that time chariot was there. The body is the chariot, it is moving. But inside the chariot, who sits? The owner. The owner of the chariot is the Atma. The owner is sitting inside, that is Atma, my God. Those who are devotee, they should think that Lord Krishna or his or her own God or goddess sitting over there, and body is going, is the chariot, the car. Then who is driver? Buddhi. It's not the mana, it's Buddhi. Why? The mind is always dwindling. And if I have a driver who will be constantly looking at the back and talking with you, it's very difficult. And every time looking here and there. And sometimes I read in the paper that the younger generation nowadays, they are making accident because when they are driving, they are sending messages, text message and all that. So they are looking at the text message. So this is the problem. So it's not the mind who is dwindling, it's the buddhi. Nishchay Atmika Buddhi. The buddhi is called as a very steady. Yesterday when I was traveling, sometimes I was looking at the person who was driving, whether he is following me or not, because I was sleeping. So obviously, if the driver also follows, oh Swamiji is sleeping, I should follow Swamiji, then what will happen to us? So that's why the buddhi means he is steady, constantly steady. So this shariram, atmanam Rathinam Viddhi, Rathi means the master. And Shariram Rathume Batu, Buddhintu Sarathim Viddhi. And Mana Pragahamet Vacha. And what is the mind? We utilized in mind also. It's the rein which is controlling. The Buddhi, the steady one, is controlling the rein. Like our nowadays, they are controlling the will. Right? So this is the controlling. Indriyani Bhayannahu. With the will, the horses, which is dragging us, our indriyas. Which is the indriya? 5 indriyas. Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva and Tak. Yesterday when we were coming, then suddenly someone talked about ice cream. So from the back, and they say ice cream. The moment the word ice cream, immediately, have we crossed that exit 20? Exit 20 is having some very good ice cream shop. So then someone told no. Then all our indriyas, they are all looking for the exit 20. Then exit 20 has come. Then somebody told, be careful, don't miss. Then we entered into the exit 20. See the look at indriya. Indriyani hayannahu. The ear, heart and the tongue gave a sound. That is called very good ice cream is available here. This is the tongue, the sound. The ear heard that sound, immediately reacted in the mind. Immediately all our eyes looking for, searching for exit 20. And then we are going to the exit 20. What is the action of? This is our horses. And if the horses go like this is the green grass, let us go to the green grass. Oh, that is the water, let us go to the water. Then we won't be able to reach. So the description is Indriyani Bhayannahu and Vishayan Steshu Gocharan. And where the Indriyas goes, Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva, Tak, to the Vishaya, to object. And these are the objects we are going over there. Atmendriya Mano Yuktam Bhakti Manishinaha. There, this is the problem. This is wonderfully giving a picture. Every day, every moment we are experiencing this. So it is very easy for us to understand that our body is the chariot, is the car, is the vehicle. Then inside, it is not me, it is the God, the Atman. And then that Atman we are taking with him. We are going along with the Atman, and problem is this, because if we cannot control the horses, it will take us to different places. So we have to control the horses. How to control the horses? Through the mind. That is the rein, controlling the horses. And who is controlling? Who is driving? The Buddhi. So this way we are proceeding. Then it is telling, Yastu abhijnanavan bhavati Ayuktena manasa sada tasya indriyani avashyani dushtasya iva sarate. Very simple Sanskrit. Dushta asya, uncontrolled horses. Like that, if the chariot is drawn by the wild horses, what will happen? It's happened to those people who cannot control their senses. Or Vijnanavan Bhavati. They are not aware about it. And they go and go. They are thinking this is the life. Now this is not life. This was understood by the Indian people, the people who used to live on the soil of India. They understood it long back, thousands and thousands of years back. That's why importance was given not on body, not on the senses, but on controlling the senses. To move with the senses is so easy, but controlling is very difficult. So that control we have to have. And yes, to Vijnanavan Bhavati, those who have controlled the mind, Yuktena Manasa Sada, their mind is always controlled. Tasya Indriyani Vashyani Swadashya Iva Sarate. Their indriyas are controlled like the tamed horses. So they can go anywhere they like. that there are some people who can control, the vehicle so easily. They're taking the turn, they're going back and moving. You can feel that you are in the safe hands. Then once in Purulia, there's a function going, at a little distance from our ashram, there's a function was going on. And all the vehicles were already gone, the drivers, 4 or 5 drivers were there in the ashrama, they are all engaged. But some of the sadhus were left, they wanted to go. And one vehicle was also there. I told, come with me, I will drive. I knew driving, but there was no practice. So when I began, the first there was a jerk. Then from the back, one monk told another monk, keep the door open. And get ready to jump whenever there is any problem. And someone commented, they said, are you having the life insurance? So then it is safe to be in it. So they are going on commenting, but somehow I carried them, took them. But I understood, unless you practice, you cannot do. I knew driving, but I didn't practice. To practice makes perfect. The yoga also saying, you have to practice regularly. Then only you will be perfect, otherwise no. After doing achha, let me see, all these works are there, and let me complete this type of all my responsibilities, and then I will come and sit quietly. Impossible. It cannot. There is a person who was standing at the shore of an ocean, and waves after waves were coming, and he was thinking, let the wave subside, then I will take the bath in the ocean. He can never take the bath. Why? This because it will never end. So the responsibilities, the difficulties, the problems of the life is continuously coming and go on coming. It will never end. And that is why the Ramakrishna Mission symbol, if you have seen, the Ramakrishna Mission symbol there, I don't know, the symbol is there? This Ramakrishna Mission symbol, you will find Swami Vivekananda has drawn that one is serpent. That is what? Yoga. This is very important. The serpent is the symbol of yoga. The whole thing is covered by yoga. Because yoga doesn't mean only meditation. Yoga means to be united with God. That is the goal. Meditation only a process, a part of it. But the goal is to be united with God. That's called yoga. So first is the serpent. And it's controlling the whole thing. In between, there is a rising sun. The moment the sun is rising, all darkness is going away. The rising sun is the symbol of jnana, knowledge. The moment there is knowledge, and all ignorance they go away. When a child is behaving erratically, we can understand. So it will go after a few days, it will be all right. Why? Because we have the knowledge of the child. We have passed through that. So the more we become old, the more we get knowledge, experience, the more we become quiet. And that is why in our society, they say buzurg. Buzurg in the Sanskrit, a Hindi word means, it may be Urdu. I don't know. But the buzurg means elderly person. Why we are supposed to give respect to the elderly person? Because they are having a lot of experience. And when we are saying something, they are not only from the knowledge, from experience they will say, wait, this will go afterwards, like that. So this way, we have to gather experience about the meditation, about controlling our senses. Oh no, it is not controlling, what will do, what will do. Constantly people will be telling, no, you have to go on practicing. Vijnanas sarathim yastu mana pragahavan naraha sodhana paramapnoti tad Vishnu paramam padam. Here the Vishnu doesn't mean the God Vishnu or the God of the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnava may be very happy. Ultimately, they are reaching at the feet of the Vishnu. No. Vishnu means all-pervading God. There's a Bhagavan Vishnu, all-pervading. That is the place we will reach. That is the place means everywhere. So there we will be reaching. Who will reach? Who has the Vijnana, Saratim Yastu. That means the mind is trained. Mind is capable. And he has controlled the senses. Then only we can go. We cannot leave anything. Sometimes some people will commit suicide. And they think that by committing suicide, we are free from the problem. No. The problem where? It is in the body. You are tormenting where? By the body? No, it is mind. And mind you cannot kill. And the mind will go along with you. The moment you are killing yourself, you are actually destroying the body. Then problem with the mind will be there. And that's why they say the committing suicide means you have to be more in trouble. Narak Vasa. You will be in more difficulty because then you don't have the body. A support of the body. When the body is there, friends are there, relatives are there. So you get some support from the body also. But there you won't. Only the mind will be torturing. And that is a terrible condition. So that's why we have to be careful. Why we are attending the spiritual courses, religious classes, discourses? Because by that we will learn these secrets. And then we can handle our own mind. It won't help you in other way. But it will help you by guiding. Vijnana Saratim Yastu. Mana Pragahavan Naraha Sodhana Paramapnoti Tashtad Vishnu Paramam Padam. This yoga aphorism is having 196 aphorisms. Means short statements. When you will be studying that, short statements will be 196 in total and divided into 4 padas. Pada means chapter, we can say sections. One is Samadhi. In the beginning they will teach you Samadhi because that is the goal. This is the beauty of our spiritual training. The moment we are opening the Gita, first what comes? No. He is tormenting, he is confused, he is asking questions, he is arguing, and then he is surrendering. Shishyasteham sadimam tam prapanyam. This is important. When we are all tormenting, having problem, this and that, and we are going on rationalizing, argumentation is going on, then finally we say, no, it is not possible. We put both the hands and they, God, please take me on your lap. When the children are playing, mother won't take them on the lap. But when the children comes and put both the hands together up, the mother understands that now I have to take. And she takes up the child on the lap. Similarly, Shishyasteham Sadimantam Prapanyam. Shishya means totally dedicated to you. Please help me, I cannot. And this way, then they will be teaching first Samadhi, that is the goal. And second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is telling the whole thing of the Gita. About the Atman, about the Brahman, and about the goal, everything. Kathamrita, the Panchama Veda that we are studying, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. There are also the very first chapter, the second meeting of the master who wrote the Kathamrita, noted down the conversation. There it is complete. Can I see God? Yes. How can I see God? And then they are asking, suppose I am in the household. How should I live over there? At the same time, I want to realize God. All the reply Thakur has given in the first chapter itself. Look at it in the beginning, everything here, the Samadhi first. Then comes sadhana. After telling the goal, then he said that to reach the goal, what we have to do? This. Then, when we are practicing in yoga, what we will get? Vibhuti. Vibhuti means supernatural powers. And that is the thing. All they try to practice yoga only to that. Majority will be practicing yoga for supernatural power. Will be understanding your mind and this and that. For that, we should not. Because the last lap we should reach. The moment we are educated, we get so many things. But if you are tangled with that, attached with that, attracted to that, you cannot become a real spiritual person. The goal is Kaivalya. The 4th chapter of the Pada of the Yoga Sutra is Kaivalya. Kaivalya means final liberation. So this is very important. In one place, the one gentleman writing, as students of yoga, the fast, authentic English translation of the Yoga Sutras, along with detailed commentary, also in English, was made by a professor of chemistry. This is very important. Professor of chemistry, he is analyzing, and then at Allahabad University, and the professor I.K. Taimni, the Timni something, the pronunciation. He looked upon yoga as the science of science and has the following to say in the introduction. Very nicely he is writing, it stands in its own right. Yoga stands in its own right as science based upon the eternal laws of the higher life and does not require the support of any science or philosophical system to uphold its claims. Its truths are based on the experiences of the mystics, occultists, saints and sages who have realized and borne witness to them throughout the ages. So this is the Shastra we are going to study, and we will have slowly, it is having in the beginning Yama and Niyama. When a person is coming for practicing the yoga, the first 2 things he has to practice, that is called ethics of yoga. Yama and Niyama. Yama means absence of this thing, non-falsehood, then non-injury, non-stealing, etc. etc. We will discuss in length. Niyama, cultivation of purity, positive attitude, self-study, etc. Second, it will be yoga practices, external. Third will be yoga practices, internal. So, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, external practice. And finally, it will be dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So, Ashtanga Yoga means yama, niyama, then asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. This 8 yoga. Next class we will start that. So today again we will be repeating this mantra, but today's second mantra we can repeat. Second, you are having this paper. At the back you can give, see? In the beginning we were telling, I am neither the mind, nor intelligence or ego, neither am I the ears, nor the tongue, nose, eyes, neither am I the sky, nor the earth, neither fire, nor the air. I am ever pure, blissful consciousness. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. So this was our prayer. Now second, again he is telling, Shankaracharya, Aham nirvikalpo nirakara sarvatra sarvendriyanam something, I don't know, it is not this. No, this is the second line. I think it is not that we chant. So in the next class we will chant. Let us do the first one. Let us do the first one and then complete. Mono Buddha Ankara Chittani Naham Nacha Sutra Jive Nacha Prana Netri Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Na Tejo Na Vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. Today I have to reach this Hindu temple of Lemon by 1:30. So please come quickly.